January 1st, Leo has a plan. This year is different. He wrote it all down. No more impulse spending. No more forgotten subscriptions. No more just this once. He has a budget. He has a system. He has a list. He is ready. February 11th. The list is in the bin. The budget app has not been opened in 3 weeks. Leo spent $200 on things he specifically promised himself he would not spend on. And the worst part is he does not even know exactly when it fell apart. It just did. Again. Like it does every year. Today we go back to January 1st. And we watch exactly where it goes wrong, not to make Leo feel bad. But because the moment you can see it you can finally stop it. December 31st, Leo opens his notes app. He writes the same things he writes every year. Save more. Spend less. Track every purchase. No more impulse buying. Cancel and used subscriptions. Build an emergency fund. He feels genuinely good writing this list. Motivated. Clear. Like the new year is already better than the old one. January 1st to January 10th goes perfectly. Leo tracks every purchase. He says no to things he would normally say yes to. He feels disciplined. He feels like a different person. He tells himself this year the list actually means something. January 14th, Leo is out with friends. Everyone is ordering drinks and food. Leo looks at the menu. He thinks about his resolution. Then he thinks about how well he has done for 2 weeks. He deserves a small treat. He orders. Just this once. He has earned it. January 19th, Leo sees something he wants online. It is not in his budget. But January has gone so well. He is ahead of his savings target. He buys it. A small reward for good behavior. January 28th, Leo misses a day of budget tracking. He tells himself he will catch up tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week never comes. By February 11th the resolution is gone. Not broken dramatically. Just quietly abandoned. One small exception at a time. What happened to Leo is not a willpower failure. It looks like one. It feels like one. But it is not. Leo's willpower was genuinely strong for 2 weeks. He proved that. The problem was never whether Leo could resist. The problem was what happened after the first exception. On January 14th when Leo ordered at the restaurant he told himself it was a one-time reward, but something else happened at the same moment. His brain quietly updated its understanding of the resolution. The rule was no longer no impulse spending. The rule became no impulse spending unless I have been good recently. That one unofficial addition changed everything. Because now Leo is not following a rule. He is managing a negotiation. Every time he wants to spend money he checks whether he has been good enough recently to deserve it. And being good enough is a standard he controls. So the exceptions gradually become more frequent. And the resolution gradually becomes meaningless. This is not a character flaw. This is how human brains handle rules that feel like restrictions. The moment a rule feels like deprivation the brain starts looking for the exception clause. And it always finds one. Because Leo is both the rule maker and the rule enforcer. And those two jobs cannot coexist in the same brain for very long. There is a deeper reason Leo's resolutions fail every year. And it has nothing to do with the resolution itself. It has to do with who Leo thinks he is when he makes the resolution versus who he actually is the rest of the year. On January 1st Leo wrote a resolution that belongs to a version of himself that does not exist yet. A disciplined saver. A budget tracker. Someone who says no to impulse purchases without effort. He wrote the resolution as if he was already that person. But he was not. He was still the same Leo who spent December buying things he did not need. The resolution was a wish. Not a plan. When January Leo met a temptation he resisted. Because January Leo was playing a character. Disciplined Leo. But characters are exhausting to maintain. And by January 14th the character started slipping, and the real Leo underneath started making the decisions again. The Leo who has always found reasons to spend. The Leo whose habits were built over years. Not 2 weeks. Resolutions fail not because people are weak. They fail because resolutions ask you to act like a different person before you have actually become that person. And acting is not the same as being. Acting is exhausting. Being is automatic. Leo needed to change who he was. Not just what he did. And a list written on December 31st cannot do that. Leo has made a financial resolution every year for 5 years. Save more. Spend less. Build an emergency fund. The same words. The same intention. The same failure by February. 5 years of January optimism followed by February reality. The cost of those 5 failures is not just money. It is something harder to calculate. Every year Leo fails his resolution he builds a slightly stronger belief that he cannot change. That he is just someone who is bad with money. That this is simply who he is. And that belief is more expensive than any impulse purchase. Because it stops him from trying properly. If Leo had saved just $200 a month consistently across those 5 years he would have $12,000 today. Not from a dramatic change. Not from a perfect budget. Just from $200 a month. Consistently. The resolution was never the problem. The way it was designed was the problem. And nobody told Leo how to design it differently. Until now. Quick question. How many financial resolutions have you made in the last 5 years? And how many of them made it past February? Be honest. Not with me. With yourself. Because the number matters. Not to judge you, to show you something. If the number of failures is higher than the number of successes the problem is not you. The problem is how resolutions are designed. And that is fixable. Drop your number in the comments. How many January money promises made it to March? Leo's answer is 0 out of 5. He wants to know if anyone beat him. And if this video just described your January every single year, subscribe to Mind of Leo right now. Because every trap Leo walks into is one you have probably walked into too. And knowing about it is the first step to walking around it instead. Leo stopped making resolutions, not because he gave up. Because he finally understood why they were not working. A resolution is a declaration. It tells you what you want to be. But it does not tell you what to do on Tuesday afternoon when you are tired and someone shows you something you want to buy. So Leo replaced his resolution with one habit. Just one. Not a list. Not a budget system. Not a tracking app. One habit. Every time he was about to spend money on something unplanned he waited 24 hours first. That was it. No willpower needed in the moment. Just a delay. 24 hours. Then decide. The first month Leo used this habit he cancelled 12 unplanned purchases. Not because he stopped wanting things. Because by the time 24 hours passed the urgency was gone. The thing he desperately needed at 3 p.m. on Tuesday felt completely optional by Wednesday morning. The delay did not change what he wanted. It changed when he decided. And deciding when calm is completely different from deciding when excited. One habit. 24 hours. No list required. No perfect budget. No January 1st needed. Leo started this habit in March. In October. In the middle of a random Wednesday. Because habits do not need a new year. They just need a decision. And one small decision repeated is how people actually change. Not how they resolve to change. The resolution was never the problem. Leo was never the problem. The design was the problem. A list of declarations made on one night every year was never going to change habits built over a lifetime. But one small decision. Made once. And then again. And then again. That can. Subscribe to Mind of Leo. Because next week Leo discovers the trap that lives inside every supermarket he walks into. A trap that was physically built into the store before he arrived. That controls exactly where he walks. What he sees first. And what he puts in his basket before he even realizes he is being guided. You have walked through it hundreds of times. You never noticed it. Leo is about to show you exactly where it is. And drop that number. How many January money resolutions made it to March? Leo got 0 out of 5. Beat him. See you there.